Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Got a toy review episode for you today. Just recently got in the mail. A little delivery from Amazon. McFarlane, their Super Powers collection. Oops, wrong way. It is the Bug. Vehicle of the one and only Blue Beetle, the Ted Cord version. And they also happen to be selling Ted Cord himself. So, I don't collect this line. I didn't collect the Super Powers line when I was a kid. I was kind of getting out of cartoons at that point. So why do I have this thing? Well, two reasons, really. One is that I'm a huge fan of the Justice League International comic books from the 1980s. And therefore a big fan of Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. And so when I saw the Bug and I saw the Blue Beetle figure, I'm like, dude, kind of tempted. And the prices are actually pretty good on these things. And so I did a little search. I'm like, well, if they got Blue Beetle, then they got the other guy too, right? Oops, let's see if I can do this. And look, inside the Bug, it looks like a guy with gold on, sitting next to. So, of course, I do a quick search. They got a Booster Gold. I want to get those two. That'd be cool. No, they don't have a Booster Gold. Not yet. So, I decided to get these dudes on the idea that at some point here in the near future, there will be a Booster Gold to go along with the Blue Beetle. Now, I have not yet opened the Bug. I did open the Blue Beetle and take him out because, you know, I'm an off the card kind of guy. Let's take a look here. Nice work. Doesn't look as much fun as Blue Beetle should be. I will say that. He could maybe have more of a smile on his face, but it's a fantastic job paint-wise on the costume. Of course, we have pegs on the feet. Bendable knees, arms move, head moves, and of course the legs move as well. So, pretty standard. Now, like I said, I don't have any of the original Super Powers figures to compare, but I do believe it's pretty well scaled to them. I do have a Secret Wars figure from back in the day. Iron Man, and you'll notice that Iron Man and him, I'm balancing them on my finger, are about the same scale, about the same size. So I would presume these guys would work pretty nicely with vintage figures if you happen to have them. So let's open this bad boy up and take a look at the Bug. Did you see the action? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, look at that. That looks like a mess. All right, we got a bag of goodies. Oh, I see. Okay, you know what? Maybe it would be helpful if I actually looked inside the thing while I was doing it. Hello. Okay. I'll set you over here. The main body of the Bug. Oh, nice. I love New York. which I assume would come from the Justice League days, because Blue Beetle was, I believe, set in Chicago, that toddling town. So let's open this dude up and get a closer look. All right. So here we go. There we go. And like it, love the eyes there. Now, obviously, not to scale with the flying vessel in the comic books, but that is fine because it's a toy. And that's one of the things I do like about this line. And yeah, there's already a few other figures. They got a Kilowog? That's really cool. These are probably primarily going to adult collectors, but they do look like the toys we would have had back in the 80s had we had these toys back in the 80s. Okay, these open up. But how do these open up? Is it simple? This is, again, me, the guy who's always worried he's going to break something. Do something stupid. Trying to be careful. All right, let's see if there's any instructions in here. Let's take a look at this as well. Because I believe what we have in here are the legs for our little spacey ship, which I believe are going to go in those little pegs there. I don't think that's the button. That's not a button. Huh? What the hell did I just push? Was it this? Okay. That's definitely not that. All right. Well, I have at least half of this sucker opened. Let's take a look inside. And these go like so. So there's how the leg goes on. Let's see. See, now all right, I'm putting this sucker down. And I may regret that, because I may never get it to work again. But let's get these in. Oh, for the love of all that is holy. I'll say one thing, though, again. The nice thing with the adult collector stuff is it doesn't take 4.5 hours to get this thing out of the package, as it would if this was a child's toy. All you other dads out there, you know of what I speak. There's that moment on Christmas Eve when it's time to get things set up and ready to go, and you're just about ready to go to bed because you're old now, and you realize you have to start putting some presents together to put under the tree, and it's going to take a while. Holy moly. All right, I'm going to put this. This is the little antennas, which go right on there. Except they're kind of being a pain in the ass as well. I'm always afraid to press too hard on these things because I don't want to break them. Okay, I don't have it backwards, right? No, I definitely don't have it backwards. I got it. Okay. And moved a stupid leg in the process. All right, so here is our completed bug, little antennas. It has its little footsies. It has its little skywire thing that will come out. I'm probably not going to mess with that because I would just assume that it'd stay in there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I got a button that I'm supposed to be able to press. Okay, well, now this time I got the other one to come up. What? I think it has to have both of them down. All right, let's try this. I'm not touching either of them. Oh my. This is the button. But see, when I hit it before, I was hitting this little silver thing at the same time, so I thought that was it. Yeah, filthy. Okay, so there's the interior of the bug. Now, of course, like I said, not to scale, because to scale, the whole Justice League could fit inside of it. So let's get Ted Cord behind the seat of his beautiful machine. Okay, hold on. I think we got to sort of go from above. We got to get his feet underneath. Look, obviously, I'm a little bit slow, okay? I'm a little bit slow. So easy, a 5-year-old child could do it. Really, do you happen to have a 5-year-old child handy? I can't make heads or tails of it. For the love of all that's holy, will you just sit in the little chair? Looking how his legs flying up in the air. All right. Oh, of course, his head's now turned the wrong way. There we go. Put my glasses back on so I can actually see. There's Blue Beetle sitting inside the bug. The bug. Hey, he's from Chicago. That makes sense, right? I will say this, though. Unless I'm missing something, which I think we've established I well could be doing, there's about a 0% chance that Blue Beetle is going to stay in that seat if kids were running around playing with this thing again. Now, I don't know, but let's see if we can get fellow high-tech adventurer Tony Stark down inside this dude as well. Yeah, well, now explain that. Explain why it was easier to get a Marvel Secret Wars figure in the bug than it was to get the guy who's supposed to be there. Well, anyways, now they're best friends, and they're out having fun and busting crimes and telling jokes. You know what? The Iron Man of the MCU, as played by Robert Downey Jr., is a lot like Ted Cord from the Justice League International. Slightly different style, but of comedy, but pretty close here. I feel more comfortable now about closing this, now that I finally figured out what the heck I'm doing. So there we have it all closed up. Characters inside. Well, I'll leave old Iron Man in there for the time being. So, what do we think of this? I think it is beautifully sculpted, beautifully designed, and all of my complaining about the wings not opening up, I take back because I was stupid. Although just a little indication of where the button was kind of would have helped. Very, pretty easy to put together. Again, some of my reticence with these is that I'm always afraid I'm going to break something if I push too hard here or push too hard there. So getting the little antennas on took a second because of that. But otherwise, I'd say this is probably pretty comparable to the engineering we would have gotten back in the 1980s with the original line. Pretty nice. Putting the legs in was pretty easy. Simple, but very effective little item. I like it. I'm probably going to hang it from the ceiling. I don't know. Maybe not right away, but I think that's probably what I'll ultimately do. Or maybe hang it under the shelves over there. That might work a lot better too. It might be easier to do. I might do that. But really nice. And the Blue Beetle character is a really nice piece of work as well. So I will give pretty high marks to McFarlane Toys and their Super Powers line from what I've seen of it so far. Good sculpts, good design, and rugged enough. Again, rugged enough to survive 10-year-olds playing with it back in the 1980s. Probably not. Maybe, though. Maybe. Because we destroyed a lot of toys back then, too, mind you. But they might actually survive. But they definitely are, I believe the term is toyetic, meaning, yeah, these actually look like real toys and not like, sculptures. Like Hot Toys, obviously, there's no pretension that those would have been played with children at some point in the past. That's not the point of them. They're really lovely sculptures that you can pose to some degree. That's what those are. This does feel like an actual toy, which is why I like it. That's what I'm interested in collecting more than sculptures, so to speak. All right, so what do you think? What do you think of Blue Beetle and his bug from McFarlane Toys? Reasonable prices, in my opinion, especially when you see some of the stuff that's out there nowadays. Love it. Love it. But what do you think? Have you got any of these? Have you thought about getting any of these? Are there any that you love the idea of, love the look of? Maybe I can get my bug right in between there. Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about these dudes and about McFarlane Toys in general. I'd be honest with you, I rarely have liked most of the McFarlane stuff that I've seen. I just don't like the sculpts on them. But I do like these, and they're very classic characters, but they also have some really oddball ones. And I admit it, I'm like, oh man, the old Super Powers had Captain Marvel, had Martian Manhunter, Batman, and I love the old Batmobile from the 80s that they had. That is one of the coolest looking Batmobiles ever designed, period, in my opinion. I like it pretty much as the old 60s one. So you go, well, you could kind of start putting together the Justice League International. That'd be kind of fun, since I do love those characters. We'll see. I'll tell you what, though, some of those old ones ain't cheap. If they would remake them modern, I might, because the figures, I got mine on Amazon, and I want to say the figure was like $10, and I can't think what the bug costs now. You can go to Amazon, you can find out, but overall pretty reasonable. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this little unboxing of the bug and this little look at it, and enjoying seeing me struggling to try to put things together and figure out how they work, give it a like, maybe think about subscribing. Where else can you get such gripping content as this? Maybe share with a friend. Until next time, though, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. Maybe buy yourself a little toy, or even better, buy a toy for your kid and sit down and have a good game of superhero with them. And you will not think that time wasted. I promise you. I will see you next time in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.